Welcome back to another episode of Out of Bounds. This is episode 27, and look, I have a guest.
Hello, I'm a guest.
Let's listen to that intro music. And... And that was it. And we were definitely on beat the whole time. Nobody can say otherwise. Welcome back. My name's Danell Leyva. I'm the host of Out of Bounds. This is episode 27. I said that already. This is my good friend, Monty Geer. You might recognize him from amazing shows like Awkward. You did the last 2 seasons?
Yeah, season 4 and 5.
Season 4 and 5. Amazing actor. The most recent thing that he's done that's like really blowing up right now, he did a series of commercials with John Hamm for Skip the Dishes.
Yeah, it's like Postmates in Canada. We're the spokespeople for that. We've done 3 years of that. We just shot 12 commercials a couple months ago. I've done like 26 now.
Jesus.
It's a lot of commercials.
Which, if you think about it, Skip the Dishes is much more clever than Postmates.
It's great. I mean, yeah.
What the hell is Postmates?
I know. Yeah.
I don't know. Monty is also a comedian. He's a great comedian. He's very funny. You've been on tour a little bit?
Yeah, stand-up
stuff. Obviously a comedic actor. I met him through my friend August, who was on the podcast a couple episodes prior. It's here, wherever that
the
bar thing of the.
And then you did stand-up for a while, and we started hanging out more because of stand-up, and then the coronavirus happened. No one did stand-up.
It pooped on it shit on everybody's stand-up comedy dreams. Are you still working on it?
I write some stand-up. Right now I'm writing a movie, so that's my main focus.
Nice, man.
I'm shooting, I shot a movie too in Canada called Clyde Bloomer's Success.
Well,
about a stand-up comic, actually.
About a stand-up comic,
So the whole summer I was working on this movie about a stand-up comic, and I did stand-up in the movie. And in Canada, stand-up clubs are open because we were in Toronto, and they only had 40 corona cases a day. Which is crazy. Yeah. LA had 40 cases a minute. It was like it was super. So we did indoor comedy all the time. It was like half capacity. But
did it feel amazing to be like back on stage?
It was great. Yeah, and I love the Canadian audiences. It'll be funny because everyone will be like, "Your next comic, he's from like MTV's Awkward and Ad Rooms, everything." It's like quiet, and they're like, "And those Skip the Dishes commercials." Everyone freaks out. They're like, what?
Like, oh my god, that's the dude. What's your name on the commercial?
Brandon. Yeah.
They're so funny, man.
Yeah, thanks.
They're so funny.
And they're heavy improv, and we write.
Oh, really?
Stuff. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
Like each take is just a whole different set of
what's
jokes.
so funny about John Hamm, dude? John Hamm, for whatever reason, I can't remember what was the first thing that I saw him in, but I never truly, like, his face didn't give me like, oh, this is a funny guy.
Yeah.
You know? Like, he just looks like leading man, super serious, I'm going to do dramatic things. And then I saw him in Bridesmaids, and I was like,
he's hilarious in that.
Hilarious.
Yeah, he started as a comedic actor, and then he booked Mad Men, and then for years after Mad Men, he couldn't get comedy auditions because they're like, "You're the Mad Men guy." He's like, "No, I'm
funny.
Comic.
I'm funny."
Yeah, like he's friends with like Amy Poehler, so he did like 30 Rock as like a boyfriend or something. In that.
Oh.
And then he started hosting SNL, and then now he's in Tag and all these comedy movies all the time.
That was a great movie.
He's like me, who's a comedic actor
first,
who booked a serious role,
right?
And then they would stop seeing him for comedy stuff.
Right,
and he's super hilarious.
How was it on Awkward? You have a really great story of how you booked Awkward. I think that's the one with the feet, right?
Yeah.
Okay, please tell that story because it's hilarious.
So I went in for the callback. No, it was the first audition I went in. And my character in Awkward is like this edgy. He's kind of like Seth Rogen in Freaks and Geeks, where he's just making fun of everyone. But I'm just way more heightened and crazier. And so I went in the casting director's office, who I love him very much, and all the other actors' headshots were on the table. And I walk in, I start the scene, and I put my feet up on the other actors' headshots and start doing the scene. And we do like 8 takes of it because she's like fine-tuning it. And then eventually she's like, you could get your feet off the table. Good idea.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, we'll cut that.
We'll cut that.
I wore a McDonald's shirt that said Mick Shit on it.
Dude, you really...
I went in, and then I went for the callback, and my buddy already booked the role, and this is someone I did a non-union movie with that paid like $100 a week or something. It was a horror film called Raised by Wolves, and we shot it like when I first moved to LA.
Okay.
Like 3 years before Awkward.
Okay.
So then I walk into the casting office, and my buddy already booked it. I'm like, "What's up? You're the other character."
God.
So then we were like super stoked to see each other.
Oh, so it was like amazing chemistry right from the beginning.
It was great, yeah. But then we started the scene, and we just bombed the scene. Because he got really nervous, and I don't know why, because he already had the role. So he's like looking at his paper the whole time, freaking out, and made me nervous. And then like we like switched roles, and we just bombed.
Oh my god!
But because of the chemistry of us coming and be like, "Yo," like,
that's amazing.
Was,
that's what sold it.
That's what sold it. Yeah,
that's good because you're
like, oh, they have great chemistry.
Yeah, but your acting was obviously shit. But I mean,
yeah, terrible. Yeah.
Thank God for the chemistry.
Thank God for that non-union movie.
And the fucking mixed shit. Jesus Christ. That's awesome, dude. And then we met because, like I said, through August and I did acting classes together.
Yeah.
Then you guys probably started dating shortly after that, honestly. What year did you guys...
after that? I thought we were dating before that.
What year did you guys start dating?
We've been dating 5 years now. What year is it now? It's 2021.
Is it, man? I don't know.
So 2016 we started dating, January 2016.
Oh, okay.
She wasn't in acting classes.
She wasn't.
Her.
Yeah. So yeah, we met literally like a year after that, or
you
about
guys
a
met,
year after that. Yeah.
So your anniversary is similar to your friendship anniversary is a year.
Something like that. Yeah. But then I don't even remember how we met.
I mean, her birthday parties and stuff. I imagine it was one of her birthday party. Yeah.
Probably, which is a funny story that we're not going to tell on the we're not going to tell on the podcast. Because how embarrassing. I will say, thankfully, I wasn't part of the embarrassing bit because I had an audition that I had to go to. So few. But Jesus Christ, definitely made us tighter friends after that. Monty, so you mentioned that you've been writing a movie now.
Yeah. And I've written a lot. I've done like 11 pilots now.
Okay.
It's my second or third movie. I think it's my second.
Okay. So for me, because I wrote that movie 2 years ago.
Uh-huh.
And I started writing it around the same time that I decided that I was going to start doing stand-up.
Uh-huh.
And then I noticed the reason why I kind of stopped going to stand-up so frequently is because I was so focused on screenwriting.
It's hard to do both.
Yeah, man.
Even though they both help each other, writing jokes. And yours wasn't as funny, or was it?
Comedy? It wasn't comedy at all. Like I'm trying to switch it now to make it more comedy. Which, by the way, you should totally talk after the podcast.
Sure. Why we talk now?
I'm saying about the script, but yeah, so it was not comedy at all. And then I had to like take the hat off, put on another hat. But it was difficult. Is the one that you're doing
I mainly write comedy because that's just what I'm better at.
Right.
So it helps a lot. Like stand up, you write punchlines and jokes. Of course. So it's dialogue. You
can just
slip them in. It makes my dialogue writing a lot better, and vice versa when I write lots of dialogue. And I did tons of sketch writing for years. Okay. Long before that, and improv and stuff. But even with drama, it does help. Stand up does because you learn how to shorten. Sentences to make them stand up. You get to take out every word that isn't important because
you got to get there quick.
You got to get there quick. Yeah, so that helps with drama because if you're just talking, it's not as
Exactly. That's really cool, man. Mm-hmm. What's the movie about?
It's I don't know if I should say it. On this podcast.
No.
I'll tell you later.
I didn't say that. I didn't ask him anything.
I'll tell you once it sells.
Do you like that? I painted one hand and then I just I was like, yeah.
I mean, because you're you're.
I'm a righty.
You're right-handed. I mean, if I was left-handed, if I did right-handed, it would be everywhere too. But if I did left-handed, it'd just be smearing Joker's makeup on my hand.
Man, okay. So why did you get into acting?
I've always loved acting. When I was I'm from Washington State, and when I was 11, 12, I started making my own content, but that was just we had my dad had an old just camcorder, the cassettes.
The little disc ones, dude.
Cassettes, so I'd make every week with my friends, especially middle school and high school. Every weekend we get together and shoot little sketches, and then we shot a whole movie. We made a whole parody of Star Wars that was 70 minutes long.
I really want to watch it.
It was really funny.
I really
so I guess I've written 3 movies now.
Oh, 3 movies. Oh, nice.
But there's no acting in Washington. When I was 15, 14, there's something called Jet City Improv, which you go to Seattle. And I'm an hour. I'm in Snohomish, which is some cow towns. So there's definitely no acting. And as this 14-year-old, I'm coming to audition for their improv thing. But they're all 40-year-old men who've been there for 15 years. And I'm like, I do an SNL sketch audition, but it's one of the things with like Jane Curtin and John Belushi. But I'm just playing John Belushi, so there's no straight man in my audition, so I'm just screaming at him. It's terrible because there's no one to react to it, so I'm just screaming about the Irish or whatever John Belushi did.
Jesus Christ! Did you book it? Did you?
No, I did not.
Of course.
And I did like summer, and then when I was 16, I started going to New York Film Academy because my family's from New York. My grandparents are there,
cool.
So.
And you went to New York?
I went to New York,
wow,
yeah, and I
awesome.
lived alone when I was 16 in the city,
New York City,
in Manhattan, yeah, because my grandparents were in Jersey at the time because they were older, and the hustle and bustle of the city is too much. And then my mom didn't want to stay in New York for 3 months of the summer.
She was
so
like,
I was just alone.
You got it.
Yeah, she did. She saw how well, because like since I was a kid, I'd be there every summer, so like I knew the city well. I only got mugged like twice, so it was totally fine.
I was only stabbed once, mugged twice.
And then I went back when I was 17, and then I went to NYU. So I lived in New York for like 4 years after that.
That's awesome.
And then I did lots of improv and stand-up. That's when I started doing stand-up when I was like 18, 19. Yeah. And I wrote for like Late Night with Jimmy Fallon.
Oh, wow.
Because like I became I wanted to, my dream was like write for like SNL or be on SNL.
Yeah.
And I like when I was 16, I like, or 18 or whatever, I like applied and like, no, to be like an intern or whatever. So my first job was like started reading scripts for like a production house to be like, no,
wow,
yes,
that's
no,
cool.
And then breaking them down and stuff. And then, so it was Christmas break, and I went home for 2 weeks because it was college, and I came back, and they just fired me because I was gone for too long, but they never told me.
For 2 weeks?
2 weeks! Like, probably 10 days because I wanted to be in New York, so they're just like, oh, we replaced you because you were gone for 10 days. And I was like, really? I'm that replaceable? And the answer is yes.
And they
yes.
But like, did you put in like...
No, I literally came back to work like 10 days later.
You were just like, hey guys, they're like, what are you doing here?
Yeah, what are you doing here?
I'm here for work.
No, we have another intern taking your spot, and some guy just reading scripts. I was like, okay. So then I went to Broadway Video because I tried to get on SNL again. They said no.
Yeah.
Because it's really hard to just be an intern on SNL because it's SNL. Yeah. So I applied to Broadway Video, which is the editing company for SNL, and they do other like NBC shows. And my job was like transcribe talk shows and stuff. So it was a lot of just like ums and heys and
hang on. Even like the conversation between like the host and
that's what I did. The whole conversation.
So it'd be like if somebody were to transcribe what we're doing right now.
It'd be terrible. Yeah. Oh my God. A lot of you got whispers, oh my God, So I do that all day. And like I was terrible at it. Always making mistakes. Every day they're like, "This is wrong." And it's like, I don't want to do this. I'm trying to write jokes. But then I worked really hard, and the president of Broadway Videos liked me.
Okay.
And then I was like, "Hey, can you refer me to like be an intern at SNL?"
Yeah.
And she's like, "No," because no one becomes an intern at SNL. I was like, "Okay." She's like, "But there's a new show coming out called Late Night with Jimmy Fallon." And I was like,
wow.
And so it was before it came out. I was like, "Okay, I'll do that." So I started interning at Late Night with Jimmy Fallon.
Okay.
And my first day at Fallon,
you got fired.
I got fired. I would go home for 10 days. My first day, I get there, and one of the main writers was in my like UCB improv like 101 class. And
no
like,
way.
Yeah,
dude.
and he's like 2 years earlier because while in New York, I was doing stand up
What?
and UCB, performing at UCB. And he's like, "Hey, you're hilarious. You should write jokes under the table for us." And I was like, "Okay." So I literally, I ghost wrote some jokes for that week, and then my joke got on In Touch Weekly's like joke of the week.
Oh my God! Are you serious?
Yeah. So then he's like,
wait. But they didn't write your name in it though.
No, they never do.
Oh my God!
It's always Fallon. It's Fallon's name. Which is great.
No!
And
hey, this is some straight tea right now, y'all.
So then I became a fax writer. They put me on something called a fax writer program.
Okay.
And back in the day, before me, they would fax the headlines out to all these like freelance writers.
Okay.
And they're like, "These are the 8 jokes we want to talk about. Send us. These are the 8 topics. Send us 8
jokes,
punchlines."
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so everyone faxed it back. Now it's all emailing.
Right.
So like my day 2 at Fallon, I was running around like getting coffee at like 9 a.m., going to 30 Rock, going to SNL and stuff. So I'd be at SNL, handing boxes and stuff. And
writing
jokes. I have
jokes.
9 coffees in one hand, and I'm writing the jokes, And I did that for like 3 months or something. And then eventually...
And then you got fired.
And then they stopped the fax writing program because the WGA was like, which is the Writers Guild Association, was like, hey, these guys are getting paid $200 per joke that gets on air. If you want them to be writing for a TV show, they have to be on salary, which is like $3,000, $4,000 a week. And SNL's like, Fallon's like, we're not paying these 30 people $4,000 a week. So
which is so messed up.
I know. So they fired all TV, just fired all their fax writers.
Oh my god, dude.
So I was fired.
So you were fired. I was joking.
With a lot of great comics who I know who now like wrote TV shows and stuff. So then at Fallon, I tried to get on SNL again. They said no. So I got on College Humor and I became an article writer.
Awesome.
And then that was cool. Like I was sitting here. Here's like Amir. Here's like Pete Castles. And everyone. Streeter's right there. So all these people like I loved at College Humor. I'd be writing the articles. So I did the whole collegehumor.com articles. Wow,
that's so cool, man.
And then I was graduating NYU, and I wanted to be an actor, not like a writer. Sure. So I was going to LA eventually, and then there were like one of the people at College Humor I think referred me to SNL.
Yeah.
And I met with SNL, and I was meeting the digital shorts program.
Okay.
And they're like, hey, do you want to work here, basically?
Yeah.
And they're like, we just gotta know what's your like 5-year plan. I was like, to be honest, I want to go to LA to be an actor. So they're like, well, then you can't work here if you don't want to like work your way up.
This
SNL.
guy.
I was like, yeah, I'm good. And
how old were you there?
20.
Dude, come on.
So I left I didn't take the SNL job.
You literally could have been doing digital shorts with Adam Sandberg. Adam?
Andy Samberg.
Andy. Why did I say Adam?
M. Sandler was there before.
Andy Samberg.
But yeah, so it's funny because I worked so hard to get to SNL that I got to SNL and I was like, I want to be an actor.
Actually, you know what?
I'm not going to LA.
I'm good. Maybe the universe has a funny way to work and maybe you're going to host SNL one day, right?
That'd be cool, yeah.
Do this. Dude, write that movie and I'm sure you'll do it.
So then I started writing a lot of TV and movies while...
Were you still acting when you were in New York?
Yeah, but I left New York because at the time, I was 18, but I looked 14. So like there weren't any shows.
Not in New York.
Not filmed. Like there was like 30 Rock, and then there was Gossip Girl, and there was Boardwalk Empire at the time.
I mean, you look like 18 maybe now.
Yeah, and the only show that was 18-year-olds was Gossip Girl, and I was an extra on Gossip Girl, and I get to set, and everyone's like 35, 40 playing 18, and I was like, this is why no one wants to cast me on Gossip Girl. So the main reason I moved to LA was because at the time in New York, there were 3 jobs, 3 TV shows.
If that, right.
Yeah. And now there's tons, and lots of theater in New York.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I have never looked 18. Even when I was like 16.
You've had a full beard.
I've had a beard since I was like 16. The people I competed with used to like make fun of me. They're like, hey man, how are your kids? And I was like, nah.
When you're like 15.
When I was like 15, 16 years old. So I've never looked young at all. And like recently my agent, he's like, hey, do you have a picture of you like clean shaven? And I was like, I don't know, man, maybe. Why? He's like, just like
7th grade yearbook.
Right. And I was like, I don't know, man, maybe like, why, what's up? And he's like, yeah, just to see like, what a bitch you for like an 18-year-old. I started laughing. I was like, dude, no way. There's no way they're gonna take me. I think I did find like a selfie or something. I was like, does this work? And he was like, maybe. I don't know.
Selfie.
So professional.
You just Photoshop your beard out. You just edit. Just
use the
skin here.
That Snapchat filter that like turns you to a baby.
Yeah.
Right now, are you still auditioning right now? Like it's so weird.
I'm doing lots of commercial auditions right now.
Okay.
Theatrical is a little slower. But I just did that movie.
Yeah.
I booked the movie because it's a Canadian film because of Skip the Dishes.
Literally because of Skip the Dishes.
It was an offer. The director saw me on Skip the Dishes.
He was like, hey, you're really funny. You want to do this movie?
You should be this character.
That's literally
so he
the
sent me
dream.
to read, and I taped it and sent it to him.
That's amazing, man.
I'm in Canada.
But you, like, your big break was, you booked a commercial, right? That was like kind of like the first big thing that you did?
New York, I shot a lot of commercials.
Okay.
Yeah, and then,
it was kind of like what you were able to live off of, right?
I've been living off commercials since I was for like 8 years now.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
What was like the first big commercial that you remember that like you know.
I mean, so the first big commercial that I wasn't living off of was I was a non-union actor. I did one of those like, it's my money and I want it now.
No, you didn't.
I did.
You lie.
It paid, I believe, $150, and that commercial aired nationwide for at least a year and a half. Like it was played constantly.
There's no way that you're one of
my money and I want it now.
He didn't even say it right.
Is that not how you say it?
I think it's, and I need it now.
I don't know,
man.
And then my SAG card.
You're one of those people.
I did, I'm one of those people. And then my SAG card, which I got in New York, it was one of those. It was a commercial for. It was some like WebMD thing, and I was like, I have syphilis.
Dude, you literally are like the epitome of the things that TV shows and movies make fun of. Like, so excited, like, oh my god, I booked a commercial. What did you do? Don't worry about it. Don't. That's hilarious.
But then the first big commercials I did Subway, and then they brought me back for some more Subway commercials.
Oh, nice.
And it was with Mike Trout.
Okay.
Who's a baseball player, and I did like some RG3, who's a football player and stuff, and then and I did an Allstate commercial that ran for like 4 years, for like the NCAA tournament. Allstate sponsored college basketball.
So that
one
like you lived off for a while.
So like that one I lived off. Because when it airs, you get a lot of money, but then
every time it airs.
But right? Every time it airs, and it would be for college basketball, so it's playing every spot. Just like what.
So does it air every single time it airs?
You could check every time it airs.
Every time it airs.
Yeah, it's like less and less and less, but still commercials pay a lot. And but because I was on hold for 4 years, I got a huge check every month just to not do another insurance company for every month for 3 to 4 years, or whatever it was.
Dude, that's awesome. That's really cool.
And then my Skip the Dishes ones now, it's just like a buyout, so it's just like for the whole year.
And that's still SAG though, right?
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, John Hamm's not doing non-union
commercials. Well, no, the thing is that like because it's like it's out of the country.
Yeah, it's ACTRA and SAG. So I think the film crews are all ACTRA, which is Canadians, SAG, Canada's SAG, and then I think the actors are SAG.
Okay. Just because I also heard that I can't remember who it was. Somebody told me that when a lot of actors that are like famous and stuff, that they go and they film like movies or whatever outside of the country, it's like a different
rules. Yeah,
I can't remember what it was. Like it was something weird.
I mean, every country has their own union or non-union rules.
So interesting. I just did an audition for something that, ironically enough, films in Miami and in Spain. So that's cool. I wonder what
but that would probably be SAG because it at least films in Miami.
Yeah, and that's just like a location.
Yeah, anything you film in the States, I'm pretty sure is either if it's non-union, it's non-union, but anything,
I mean, I hope I get that one, dude. That one in Miami of all places, my hometown.
I mean, your family.
Literally, like cool. They don't even have to pay for it. Listen, if you're watching this for whatever reason, okay, and you're seeing my audition.
Give him the job.
You don't have to pay for my lodging.
Hire.
I literally have local hire.
Except for Spain. That's going to be expensive.
Except for Spain. But we don't worry about that one. But, I'm also a good actor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you are. You just booked a show. I don't know if you could talk about it.
I did. Yeah. I don't know if I can say the name.
Don't.
Don't yet. I haven't signed an NDA, so but just in case, I won't say it. But yeah, and this is my first big like TV spot, and it's a small role, but it's still like it's a big deal.
Yeah,
it's a TV.
Sure it's recurring, is what it sounds like.
I hope so, man. It wasn't last year. It was like I think like 2019. At the end of 2019, I booked my very first like feature film. We were gonna shoot the short film version of that, and then send that to festivals, and then do like crowdfunding to actually
to shoot the feature.
Shoot the feature, and then the apocalypse happened.
Yeah.
So but I do have that. We end up filming the short film. We finished it
before coronavirus.
Like so, the last day of filming that we had was March 14th.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so like 13th or 14th. So like literally like 2 days later, they were like, everything is shut down.
Yeah.
But it looks good. I'll show you later. I'm I actually really, really loved working that. Like, I can't wait to do it again because, like, the scene partner that I had, we played off of each other, like, really, really well. The director was amazing, and, like, it's a really cool script. It's a really, really cool script. But
I can't plan on doing the feature anytime now?
Yeah. Now I'm actually kind of, like, not officially producing it, but like doing a producer job. Like I'm like trying to contact people to be like, hey, look at this movie. This is cool. We should make it.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
So hopefully it gets made, man. Monty, thank you so much for being on, man.
Yeah.
We gotta do this again.
Quicker than I thought.
Yeah. They're shorter episodes, you know.
You do half-hour episodes?
Yeah, if that. Sometimes, like last week, it was like 18 minutes or something like that. Last week, I was talking about how ridiculous it is that Jake Paul, you know who Jake Paul is, offered $50 million to fight Conor McGregor.
He offered that money?
He offered that money, and there's like proof of like funds.
Oh, okay.
And Conor McGregor hasn't like responded. Like, like this is so stupid. How are you going to turn down $50 million? But whatever. If you want to hear me talk about that, look, go to this link, whatever the hell it is. Yeah. Thank you. Do you have a YouTube channel?
All my stuff is Monty Geer. My YouTube is Monty Geer Comedy.
Okay.
My Twitter, Instagram is just Monty Geer. MontyGeer.
Yeah.
TikTok, Monty Geer.
So definitely follow Monty. He's obviously hilarious. He's very talented at what he does.
If you're trying to buy movies, we got a script coming out.
Yep, exactly. If you're watching this and you have a couple $1 million lying around, or $50 million,
don't fight Conor McGregor. You could die.
Exactly.
Buy our movie.
Exactly. And now officially, because he said "our," I guess I'm going to be in it. So, and I'm also producing it too. So there you go. Two different things. But yeah, thank you so much for being here again, and Monty, thank you again for the millionth time. Appreciate you. Come back next week, and we'll talk about whatever.
Who knows?
All right.
I'll fight Conor McGregor.
Exactly. Peace out.